welcome in. My name is Chris and I'm from Embodying Light. Welcome to my channel. So this is my first twin flame reading and video here on YouTube. I've been guided for over a year to put out or start putting out and bringing forth twin flame readings and twin flame messages and guidance. A little bit about that. So I started out on YouTube doing astrology videos and videos for the signs. I felt like that was my path at one point to do that. And very quickly, as I moved into that space, I realized that I didn't really feel deeply connected to that. And I started getting messages from my guides like, you need to plug in and you need to tap into putting out videos for the Twin Flame Collective. Me being a twin flame myself, we all of us in the community here on YouTube that are doing these videos and sharing our stories and our experiences on the twin flame journey, through our lens, as well as bringing through our gifts and our medicine forward to the Twin Flame Collective is very important. And I am very grateful and I feel very full of love to be able to bring this into this space and really be able to really move through my heart space and do something that really connects with me deeply. I'm a person that believes that in tarot, we all, and it's different for everyone, but we all connect very deeply to certain major arcana cards. And my soul path cards in the major arcana are the star card and also the lover's card. I'm very, very connected. And if you've ever done any work with me, I tell very, very deep stories about all of the cards of the major arcana. So the one that I'm very passionate about is the lover's card, which is the card of the twin flames. So that is part of the reason why I'm here as well. I thank you for joining, and bear with me as we continue to expand and we move forward on this journey. And I know in this work there's going to be messages that resonate with you. So of course, as always, take what resonates with you and leave behind the aspects that you don't connect with. And there will be times where you resonate with the reading and the messages, and there's times where you'll fall out of alignment with the messages, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that you're just moving on to a different timeline. So you may find that you fall into this channel because we're on the same timeline, and you might at some point, move away from this channel because you're moving into a different timeline. So you may resonate with a different reader, and that's quite okay. And so we're going to get started. And, I wanted to start off by pulling cards in advance. But as I was going to do that, I quickly felt guided not to do that. I wanted to just do this and flow with it and just allow it to be natural and organic right now. So today I'm using the Psychic Tarot, the Heart deck. I'm also using the Romance Angels, and I'm using a deck, Love Letters to Earth. And I may use another deck if I feel guided to. But I wanted to start off, and the reason why this is turning into a very organic reading here for the new moon in Virgo is because normally I don't read the cards from the bottom of the deck, but I felt very guided to do so. And as I kind of like collected the decks, especially from Love Letters to Earth, and if you've never worked with this deck, it's awesome. It is a Reiki Oracle deck. This is what the top of it looks like, and hopefully you can see it. And the cards are like very, very beautiful. The images are Reiki images, so they're also activating. I work with them a lot in energy healings as well. They're good for placement on the body. But when I pulled that deck, I was called to the bottom of that deck, and the card that was at the bottom of the deck here is reunion, which I think is very, very powerful, because a lot of the work that we've been doing with the retrograde planets and going through these eclipses and the Lion's Gate is preparing us to come into union, to integrate our healed masculine and feminine within ourselves. Um, and I think it's very important because we easily get pulled away. And I'm going to place this card down here so you guys can see it better. But we easily get pulled into just focusing on the physicality and the 3D and focusing on the physical union, because we feel that pull, we feel that thread that's energetically connecting us to our physical soulmate or divine partner, and that's okay. However, I feel like we get so caught up in the yearning and a lot of times the obsession of wanting to be in union and physicality that we overlook that the masculine and the feminine is within ourselves, and we have to have that divine marriage and that divine union and be healed and whole within ourselves first. That is the core union, is to be in balance, and come into union within the self. And as we move into that space and we move into that understanding that the union begins within the self, and when we understand that wholeness and that fullness, and we connect and we come into union and we heal that separation between ourselves and the divine, knowing that we aren't separate, and also our relationship to nature and all that is, and everything else around us, that we are all one, then we heal that separation wound. So it starts with the self. And you know, it's very easy to get pulled through the outside connection instead of focusing on the inside connection. So it's very important to come back to ourselves, come back to the inner work, and make sure that we are in a space where we're focused on being whole. I can't even talk right now. Whole, healed beings of unconditional love within the self. Um, so the other card that came to me, and before I move on, because it connected with me so much. So after I pulled the reunion card from the bottom of the deck, I happened to look over, and the same deck, the very next card is love, and it was in reverse. And I'm going to show you guys the card, just because this is a Reiki deck, and I want you to be able to connect with the images. And I'll hold up both of the images, so if you want to just take some time, or if you want to come back and watch this video and just kind of spend some time like meditating a little bit on these images and really integrating the healing in these cards, you can do so as well. So I feel like I wanted to take this in reverse because I feel like this again goes back to, the message that, I was speaking of, where it's like we have to integrate that unconditional love, that divine union within the self. That is our true authentic partnership. It is our true authentic love, is that divine marriage within ourselves. And I feel like a lot of times I want to say like we don't accept it, but that's not exactly what I want to say. It's more like we begin to do this work, and then we start to disconnect because we get pulled back to the outside connection instead of allowing it to be organic. And that's such a big word today for some reason. Organic, allowing it to flow, trusting, allowing the natural process and order of things, knowing that if you do your work and you're in a space of healing and loving yourself unconditionally, that externally our soulmates or our divine partnerships are also doing the same, and trusting that as we're raising our vibration personally in a space of love, that they're also doing the same, and we're we're leveling up one by one and coming back into resonance with each other, even in the 3D. So it's very important to align within the own heart on the 5D level, so that we're also creating an energetic pattern that our physical, you know, twin, our physical divine partnership energy is doing the same. So very powerful, very powerful. I think it is to focus on the self, because I definitely feel like a lot of the collective twin flames, especially coming from such tough energies from the summer, have really pulled out of doing the healing and doing the core, especially inner child healing work, and releasing these fears and releasing the separation wound, and they've just been really focused on it, just the physical union, the physical partnership. But I feel like, especially with the new moon, here's an opportunity to take everything that's happened during the summer, and, and to learn from it and heal from it and transmute that energy. And then here we have this new beginning where we can step forward and move in a space where we're loving ourselves more. We're moving more and more into a space of healing and unconditional love. And we're beginning to start to kind of organize things and make decisions about what we need to do to make those changes and move forward from this space. And that's such big Virgo energy, because Virgos are very, like, they want to organize things. They fact check things. It's they're very detailed and very analytic. So now it's taking everything that we've learned, and then kind of setting a new foundation, creating a new plan, and that's going to start with the self. That's our core foundation. Being in a space where we're balanced and we're healed, and we're in a space where our cups are full as a foundation, so that we are we're able to also love outwardly in an authentic, healed, and unconditional way. So I think that's very, very powerful. And so I'm going to pull these cards down. I'm going to put the reunion card up one more time. So if anyone wants to connect with that, hopefully you guys can see this, connect with that vibration, then you could do so as well. So I'm going to pull these cards down. And then there's one more card I want to pull up before I really, really get into the reading here. So also working with the romance angels in this reading, I was guided to pull the bottom of the deck as well. And we have, of course, the release your ex. So I feel like, of course, the release your ex can be any old energies, to be honest. If you have any patterns, any addictions as it relates to any partnership, any energy that you've had, regardless of whether you're in a karmic partnership or not. This could just be a energetic pattern that needs to be released in relationships in general. This can also be one of, or both of, the feminine and the masculine energy being in karmic situations that have been draining them energetically. And I feel like, and this could be one or the other, or both, of course, but I feel like, whichever partnership energy that has been dealing with this is really weighed down. It's just like I'm feeling like an energy of like being fed up, like I can't take anymore, like. And as you can see, like, here's a contract here. It's time. This contract is up. It's time to release this contract that you keep holding on to, and it's become such a burden, and it's time for you to heal from this and take the lessons that the karmic has taught you, and transmute this energy, and be able to move forward in a whole and healed space. I feel like this is going to free up so much energy for the masculine and the feminine to create from this space. This is about letting go, so that you know, we can make room to create new things and bring in this new energy, and these new things that we're creating here with the, you know, new moon in Virgo. So very, very important. I think it's really good to, before you do, if you're someone that does any meditative work, if you're doing a ritual for the new moon, to really you know, do some release work first, and then really take some time to focus on, write down, cultivate what you want to bring in, what new structures that you want to bring into your life and what you want to create, so you can move forward from that space. But in order to do that, so you can manifest, so you can bring this abundance and you can bring this love in, we have to let something go that's really been weighing down our energy. So very important there. And so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle a decks here. And again, just doing this very freestyle, organic, just letting it flow and do what it is. So we're going to work within the masculine energy first. So let's see what comes up. And of course, I don't know if I introduced myself, but my name is Chris. I know I gave you a little bit of how I pulled into these readings. Also, I'm on Instagram as Embodying Light. And you may look me up and I'll be on, but I'm kind of doing like a mental body detox starting tomorrow. So if you message me or, you know, comment and I don't respond, it's because I'm deleting the Instagram and Facebook app off my phone. So if you want to contact me for a reading or just to chat, I'm totally open to communicating and connecting with you guys. Feel free to email me at in the rough crystals, and it's all spelled out exactly how it sounds, at gmail.com. And I would love to connect with you guys. Other than that, I'll kind of be silent because I'm kind of doing my own work and my own healing as well, and really connecting and deepening, having a deepening experience, removing some layers, and really trying to bring forth more authenticity within myself so that I can be an even clearer channel for you guys. So let's go ahead and get into this reading here. So we're just going to start off with the masculine energy. So let's tap into what's going on with the masculine energy for the new moon in Virgo. So I'm going to place these cards down and hopefully you can see here. So we have listen and we have share the love. I feel like this is the masculine being called and connecting more with his heart chakra. I feel like his heart chakra is like opening and expanding, and he's connecting with his self and really deepening what love means for himself and what love looks like. This is for the masculine, connecting to energies that and vibrations that feel like love. So he can, and he, when I say he, again, the masculine can also be a female. We're not talking about sexes here. Of course, you know, the masculine can carry predominantly feminine energy. The feminine can carry predominant masculine energy. You just take what resonates with you. But I always, you know, I always encourage everyone to take what resonates with you from both the masculine and feminine energy, because remember, we all contain both the masculine and feminine energy. So you will find messages in both sides, because we're so close to this union energy that it's not like how it used to be years ago, where it was just so out of alignment. We're very, very, the timelines are very, very close together. So like the masculine is just really listening to his self, listening to his heart, listening to his guides, really connecting more with his self than he's ever had before. And he's just tuning in and tapping in. I feel like the masculine energy is I feel like the masculine energy is kind of taking some time to itself. So if you are not in communication, or if you are in communication with your masculine, even in physicality, you may notice that the masculine energy is kind of taking a step back. So I feel like the feminine energy can be very triggered by this, especially if you have been in some type of communication with the masculine energy. I know for myself, I've been in communication with my masculine. I've seen my masculine. I've been out, in interactions with my masculine. And, I got a very clear message that, like, the masculine energy is really having to kind of pull away a little bit, because he's going deep within his heart space to really clarify and connect with what love is within itself, so he can begin to understand and begin to see, which is very important, begin to see the feminine energy clearly for who she is, especially in the physical. Like, he's beginning to really see the feminine and the love that she's radiating and emanating, and he loves that energy. He loves that nurturing energy. So he's connecting and he's preparing himself. The masculine energy is preparing himself to give his heart, to share his heart with the feminine. So this is very beautiful, and these are steps: step 2, step 3. And so I think this is really beautiful energy. This is the masculine. It's like he's working with the feminine on a vibrational level to really heal some core heart wounds. And this isn't an energy where the feminine's doing it by herself anymore, or feels like she's doing it by herself anymore, because yes, the feminine has done a tremendous amount of healing work, and the masculine energy is just rising. But remember, the feminine energy still has her embodiment and her rising that she's working through too. So, it's not about, kind of viewing like the masculine, like, oh, he's really not doing, his work, because the masculine's doing his work too. Remember, we have to move over the space of trying to control, the union, and allowing it to be what it is organically, because you have to remember, like, you want to be whole and heal within yourself, so that you call the masculine energy into union when it's right. Like, you don't want to come together when there's still fear, when there's still a lot of wounds to be healed. And that's not to say like the masculine energy and the feminine energy have to be completely freaking perfect in order for them to come into union. Like, no, it doesn't have to be like that at all. So don't think that that's not how it works. But you both don't want to be in a space where there's still fear energy, where there's still, a lot of like holes and gray areas in the pain body. Like, so you have to be in a space of just allowing, and I've been feeling a lot, even with the feminine energy, of just allowing the masculine to make it all for you, to show up for you. You know what I mean? And the masculine, he's really connecting within his heart, and he's seeing the feminine. He's just trying to sort all of it out and really tune into the feminine energy within himself. So let's see what else is going on with the masculine energy. Let's see what's going on with the masculine in his headspace. So I'm going to pull some cards for the masculine or from the romance angels here. So let me just shuffle here a little bit. Alright, so what's going on in the masculine's headspace right now as it regards to union? Let's see. Free yourself. Hopefully you guys can see these cards here. I'm going to kind of layer it like this for a second. I'll do that. So here's that energy of letting go again. I really feel like this is like the devil card right now in tarot, where it's like, um, the masculine is healing. He's letting go of pain. He's letting go of grief. He's letting go of, outdated belief systems. Um, the masculine's also looking at um, models and things he's experienced, and just coming up even from a child, because this is still inner child healing here. Like, he's looking at the relationships and situations in his life that has molded what he has believed love to be at this point. And he's coming to an understanding that those things were not necessarily love, or that they're an old paradigm of love. And he's held himself in this space, and he's been unable to really connect with and cultivate love within himself, because he was functioning and he was living based upon distorted views and relationships that did not embody the energy of unconditional love. This is also, any addictions. This could be, again, like the karmic partner that has kind of kept the masculine suppressed and unable to express his light. And it's like, I feel like the masculine energy is ready to like step up, and like I'm feeling like I break free. Like, I'm ready to free myself from this like stuck energy. I mean, look at this. Like, I keep looking at this release your ex card. It's like, oh my gosh, like I can't deal with this anymore. Like, I gotta get out of this. Like, I feel like the masculine feels like he's just been in this mental prison. Like, it's like he's been in this mental prison, like weighing these things and dealing with the same thoughts and patterns and limited belief systems so long. And it's just like he feels like enough is enough. And it's like he's really starting to change the way that he's thinking about things, and he's ready to just kind of let this go. It's like this is really, really good, like that the masculine's in this space, because the masculine energy can get caught up in all this, like the overthinking, and like the mental ego battle and ego wars and various things. And it's like I feel like the masculine is just like, I feel like he wants to put that mental energy down and move into a feeling space, that feminine space. So I think this is really, really powerful here for the masculine energy, to keep moving through this. This could be reprogramming thought patterns. A lot of things about affirmations have been coming up, even in some of the healing work that I've been doing for myself, like changing the way that you're thinking, healing the lack and the separation mindset also falls into freeing yourself. Because I feel like in the separation mindset, you feel alone. You feel by yourself. And I feel like that's the main thing we're really coming into healing here, is that separation mindset, because we are not separate. We are one with all things. And we're unifying in that space. We're unifying in that space here. So very, very powerful. So let's tap into what's going on with the feminine energy at this time. What is going on here? Funny, feeling alone. So see how like the masculine and feminine energies like mirror each other? The feminine energy is feeling alone. But here's the thing that I'm really getting here. The feminine energy needs to be alone, because I feel like the feminine energy has been reaching, just reaching for the masculine and the physical. Like, I want him, I crave him, I need him. Like, the feminine energy has been very obsessive compulsive over the masculine, and she needs to chill the hell out, basically, and just ground herself and really connect. Like, I feel like the feminine needs to go in hermit mode a little bit, and find her own way, find her own light, find that unity within herself. I also feel like the feminine is going in and healing and bringing back lost soul parts, bringing back lost gifts, and bringing them forward into the world to share, and also bringing this medicine. Like, I'm feeling like there's this medicine, this wisdom she's bringing back to also share with the masculine energy. So I feel like it's very important. It feels like the energy is like the masculine and both the feminine energy are kind of taking a pause almost and connecting within themselves. So, you know, if you're in the feminine energy and you're feeling a lot of like anxiety or like, I'm trying to think this, I did this reading earlier. I'm trying to think of how this girl described like how she felt like, I can't even think of it right now, but like if you're feeling nervous about being alone or you struggle with being alone, know that like, you know, not having communication with the masculine energy or your, you know, divine partnership, like don't take it personally. I feel like again, like some of the feminines can be, and I don't feel like this is all, but some of the feminines can be triggered by this. There is a reason for this. There's a reason why this is happening. Is because you have to connect more deeper. You have to go deeper. You're being called to dive deep within yourself for healing, emotional healing especially. You know, and you're going to have to go deep within those pockets, those emotional things that you've been avoiding, and you're going to have to face them, and you're going to have to transmute them. And in order to, and I love this card, because in order to go and retrieve those parts, that light that's within that house, you have to face the waters. You have to face those dark, murky waters. But this is going to be very transformational. This is going to change. And this is a very physical card here. You have that root chakra energy. It's like this inner work that you're doing is working to create a shift in the physical. And there's something that you have to bring forth and bring into physicality, but that can't manifest unless the inner work, that emotional healing work is being done. And it's like I've been saying this for a while. I feel like the healing that's happening here, regardless of whether you're a masculine or a feminine, remember we are both, we're healing our mental, emotional bodies. We're healing our mental, emotional bodies. So right now, the masculine energy is really working on like freeing his mind, liberating himself, changing the way he's thinking. And the feminine energy is really learning to balance her emotions. I feel like this is really about the feminine energy gaining more stability within her emotions. So what else is going on here with the feminine? And I just want to say as well, if you would love to get a reading with me or book a reading with me at this time, you know, feel free to email me again at intheroughcrystals@gmail.com for any inquiries on readings. And I am always available as well to chat with you guys. You can shoot me an email because I'm going to be off of social media for a month. But after that, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram, send me an email, like whatever works for you. So then we have rest and reconsider. So I feel like the feminine energy, she's like recharging her batteries. But this is like a slowing down. This is kind of like a slowing down. I feel like just the feminine energy has been so overly emotionally like worked up about things that she's kind of burnt out, and she needs to take a pause and really connect with herself and like recharge and figure out like what is the next step. What does she want to do? What does she want to create? What does she want to manifest? And I feel like, you know, especially this is a 9 card here, you know, we have September 9th, the 9/9 portal that we have here with the new moon in Virgo. This is really about taking stock of things. I feel like taking stock of the lessons that we've learned, taking stock of the things that have come up during the retrogrades and the eclipses, and transmuting that energy and reconsidering, you know, how we want to go about things on this journey and in our lives. This is about building kind of a new order of things, like in your life, and starting anew. So it's like the feminine energy really needs to take the time to connect with herself and kind of set, I wanted to say set new rules, but it could be setting new rules. This could be reinforcing boundaries, learning how to say no, empowering yourself, finding courage, finding your voice, and building a new life. So the feminine needs this downtime here. Again, it feels like the masculine and the feminine energy, they're taking some downtime to really feel the feels within themselves, like, which I think is a very, very beautiful energy, because that's what we need. We need to not think through life. We need to feel. So we have the masculine and the feminine energy trying to get out of this, like, this, you know, mental fog, and really gain some clarity and feel the feels of their being and their soul. You know what I mean? Really connecting with soul, their soul essence, their soul vibration. So very, very beautiful. So I'm going to pull a card for what's going on in the feminine's headspace regarding union at this time. What's going on in the feminine's headspace? Bunch of cards jumped out, so I'm not going to take all of them, but let's see. And let me know, like, if you guys like the readings where, you know, I pull the cards before, or if you like them, if I'm freestyling them, let me know, like, what kind of works for you, what you like. So we have keep an open mind. So I'm immediately getting with this, and let me show this card again, because this card to me is always about third party energy. Again, there's that karmic partnership, and I feel like, again, the feminine can be triggered when the masculine energy goes silent, because she may feel like, okay, well, maybe he's reconnecting with the karmic. And they could very well be doing so, but in a way where they're trying to kind of hash things out, and so that they can move forward. I still feel like there's like a finalization, a clearing of energy that's happening with, you know, whoever, whether it's the masculine or feminine counterpart that has this karmic partnership. I feel like they're trying to make a decision here, and they're just kind of looking at everything, and looking at what is love and what isn't love, and they're looking at what the feminine, the divine feminine, the soul partnership offers, like what that feels like, what that looks like, how it makes him feel, and he's kind of comparing it to the karmic at this time. But I think the feminine can be triggered by that in a sense that, like, you know, like, I want to be with this person now, you know what I mean? You know, in that control space, I want to be with this person now. So if they go silent, or if they don't talk to me all the time, or if I don't hear from them, then this is a bad thing. So I feel like, you know, this is a message for the feminine to remember to be in a space of allowing, like, don't impose yourself on the masculine. Like, allow him to do his work, because he's working just as well as you are. So focus on your work, you know, be in a space of trusting, and, you know, I think everything will sort itself out. This is just a time of, you know, rest and rejuvenation for both the masculine and feminine energies. So I want to pull a card. I want to pop back to the masculine. I want to pull into what the masculine energy, how he's feeling about the feminine right now in his heart space. How is the masculine feeling about the feminine in his heart space right now? Right. he wants to give the relationship a chance. I mean, he sees you and he wants you to know the work that he's doing right now within his heart space and within the physical is so that he can step up and be this whole healed being of love, and so he can share his fullness and this wholeness with you. He wants this relationship, and like literally, like I'm seeing like sparkles, so like my guides are here, and like that's just confirmation for me that it's like he wants this relationship as much as, you know, the feminine wants this relationship. But it's very important that that the work that needs to be done is being done. So I think that message is just remember, you know, even with with the feminine, keep the open mind. It's like just remember that like even though things may look or appear to be a certain way in physicality and 3D, it's like you have to trust that, like, you know, that the divine is working in these mysterious ways to pull the red thread that keeps the masculine and feminine energy together through all timelines. We're pulling that together into a unified space. So very beautiful there. So let's see what the message the feminine has for the masculine, how she's feeling in the heart space when it comes to the masculine. And hopefully you guys can see the cards. All right, children. So, and it's so funny because there's another reader that I follow, Erica Hippie Tarot, and I think she said like at her last reading, like, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like the feminine really wants to have children with the masculine, and absolutely. But I also feel like this is the feminine working on healing the inner child. And as she's doing her work, she's also kind of guiding and nurturing the masculine energy and healing his inner child, and teaching him how to nurture his self. So it's like I feel like the feminine is kind of acting as a guide right now for the masculine to heal his inner child. So they're working together, like whether you realize it or not, you know, in physicality or not, like on an energetic level, the masculine is, or the feminine is helping to support the masculine in healing his inner child, as well as she is sharing her experience and her healing of the inner child, and then them working through that together. They're both healing in a unified space, and they're able to level up and raise their vibration and ascend into whole healed beings, where they can connect more fully and authentically, and bring forth their higher self at the fullest and highest capacity. So I think that's very beautiful, very, very beautiful energy. So I'm going to pull one more romance angel card here, and this is going to be for the union message. So this is going to be the card for the union message from Spirit regarding the masculine and feminine energies. All right. You deserve love. This starts with the masculine and the feminine energy healing and loving themselves. And when you're in a hold and healed space, now you can take aim. You can shoot for what you want, because it's going to come back to you. That which you are will come back to you. You'll always hit your mark, is what I'm getting. You'll hit your mark because what you're sending out is coming from a place of love, and you deserve this. Know that you deserve this within yourself, and you deserve also to receive it from the masculine energy as well. So that's the space that we're moving into with that. So I'm going to pull one more card to wrap up this reading here, and it's going to be from Love Letters to Earth. And again, this is going to be some Reiki healing energy and the message for the overall union here for the masculine and feminine. So, message from Spirit for the overall union energies for the masculine and feminine at this time. And forgive me, like, if this message, because sometimes my computer's weird, so it may upload maybe a day after the new moon. But remember, all is in divine timing, and we receive the messages and the lessons as we're meant to. You might run into this video you know, months down the line or years down the line, and when you receive this message, it's because you were, you know, meant to receive this message here. So, alright, so overall message for the masculine and feminine energy at this time. Travel. So again, remember this is Reiki energy, so I want to leave this here for a second just so you could connect with it or refer back to it if you would like to come back to this video and just like meditate and draw in from these images. So this is immediately what I'm getting from this card. So there's another twin flame reader. I believe she is Awakened Warrioress. She's awesome. I love her perspective. She's very no nonsense, like do the healing, do the work. Like I love her approach. I love her energy and her messages. But when this card came, I immediately thought about her message because she was talking a lot about how when she connected with her guides, you know, one of the things that we're being called to focus on is, again, that unified space within ourselves, and to call in from all the different timelines where we are already in union and call that into our energetic space now. So I feel like that's a very powerful meditation to work with for the masculine and feminine, being able to call in the energy from the masculine and the feminine, and the timelines that they are already in union, and connecting with that energy and connecting with what that feels like, what that vibration feels like. And I've been working with it, and I've noticed like that my energy, like I've been working with this meditation literally for 48 hours, and I've noticed like my energy has been more in a space of joy and playfulness. Playfulness has been very powerful. Like I feel very I feel joy, and I feel in an energy of playfulness like when I dance. So I've been integrating dance more, just in dance meditation, like whatever that is for you, like connect with that, but take some time to be into a meditative state and call in those timelines where you're in union, and connect with how that vibration makes you feel when you do that. And the message that I'm really getting is to do that for the next 30 days. So I think that's very powerful. I feel like that travel is just really like that those energies, those union energies coming in from different timelines, and meeting you where you are right now in this timeline. Because remember, like, whether it's past, present, future, layered, like it's all part of our experience, and we can draw from those timelines and those experiences and call those timelines in. That's going to help you be closer to a unified space within yourself. So that's your reading, guys, for today. Hopefully it resonated with you. If you have any questions, any thoughts, feel free to comment in the video below. So I'm probably going to do the readings on the new moon and the full moon. Don't hold me to that. Like if I feel called, or if there's like a urgent message that I need to kind of pull in and bring forth, and I'll do so. Another thing that before I wrap up, and this came from some of the energies that were coming through last month within the Twin Flame Collective. Um, Rose Sophia kept coming up. Working with Rose Sophia crystal. So if you work with crystals, and I don't want to get really, really super far into it, but look up Rose Sophia, and if you have Rose Sophia, work with it. My guides are telling me it's good for both the masculine and feminine energies right now. If you can physically get a piece, sometimes it's hard to obtain. I know there's a lady on, I believe, eBay. She's also on Etsy. She just has stores in different places. I can't remember her shop, but she carries normally a lot of unique and high vibrational crystals. Um, she's the only person that I've seen that has Rose Sophia, so you can find pieces of it here and there. If you can get a physical piece, great. If not, call the energy of Rose Sophia in during your meditations and during your work, and really tune in and connect with that energy, because it's very powerful for what we are healing right now, coming into that 5D wholeness, unconditional love space within the self at this time. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you again very, very soon for another Twin Flame Divine Partnership and Soulmate reading. Blessings and love to you guys.